Well, we have a good evening. Jasu Jumedia. So live. Okay. 101.7 FM. So yes, our high live radio so. And yeah, Kings Jersey, Migaju FM, any your partner radio stations. Now that's so pick live or London. Into good evening, Akwaba so and come on. Move on chair, cause you snowstorm, ne windstorm, ne why ne identity. Oh, not snowstorm, but windstorm, yeah. Windstorm. The internet call. But yes, I'm all good evening, Bill. Yemfa ya concept, ya tema for tema. We dey be intense or tema, but for helicopter to crash, what tema nipa mienu would that's very sad. That's very sad. Ni so because I mean, this is the second helicopter crash. I think this is even the third because after the ministers no any penifo akese no moko oboase no there was another helicopter but I know emergency landing and share them Frankrofo and ekosi wo Winneba honorable afenyo marking constituency and so this is the third one. The third one is na nipa fema or mashdo womonka. So it's a very very sad one. Arrow nobody deserves to lose their lives. Temademe ya woman what bibi say currency bida. Now apparently a helicopter is free who it's just a short trip and they say aqua crash. But God bless the pilot. God bless the pilot because it could have been worse. God bless the pilot. Say Oko lande was school park. So God bless the pilot because Senkenya school park so na pilot no call lande and what we'll be talking about too. And this is the reason why Nkrumah Osajo for Nkrumah in his own wisdom, Ojeja and baby whatever say hodie enisenka yesisi adan ho your friend green belt. Na yen abro ni be yenti green belt in aton. In fact, school park ya helicopter no pilot no eco lande was no. Ya ton fa. Me tema committee 9. Redemption Valley, when I'm school, me brothers, me brothers, no school, me sisters, obi ya we are committee 9. Redemption Valley School Park, a ton farmer Vodafone. A fire the Ama Church of Pentecost. And a fan, I'm say praise before so at fan. Praise be cried there, and no can school park, no baby, I praise before water, my committee 9 here. Cemetery, no cry at home. Chese, waiting na Nkrumah, ne nyansemu. Osuye bi wa abrocha mo baby o mo designate say green belts yen sit down in fact make us say between time come to 9 and time come to 8 baby aye a green lounge no aye green belt ya ton e bi na e dey ama green lounge me am nua kofi kire kon what baby nya no fault dey say go for ton no mo te so into obe ne den so what I say a crumba udru on ma between time come to 9 and come to 8 there's a green belt there chrome baby a crumba one me nua dia crumba me nua kofi kire kon na ne dia when you a green belt baby a green lounge one a green belt it's not supposed to be occupied enti senka you say school park is so nka and also ya ton anka him na pilot in Beko land because enka school park be anyone a pilot no call land or rest because with him the way at come to 1 etia e ho ye dwom time come to 1 the major part of committee 1 you know a committee 1 market and apart from main committee 1 market near different quarters no yes what individual pockets of year first a drum around the market praise be assuring anymore say when you not done market casino when you not a market into imagine say pilot na nko crash school park and now no aso be abro na ka pilot no call lande wo tema come to 1 market and we'll be talking about thousands of people who are dead thousands of people oh say Nkrumah wanyansa chen yo Nkrumah na jai green belt school park ni ade wo ho say emergency bi ba ho na in fact tema ye earthquake area inti Nkrumah jai green belt say earthquake bi ba nipa betimi adwane akoba bia earthquake earthquake prone na dan bi any one more people will be safe and ya tonton na ni say pilot eko crash wo car park nti God bless the pilot again say one crash wo baby as was said that he was trying so much to be a helicopter no. Pilot he was pushing which means so pass or menya empty land be or na yi ni besi won said the bank can crash enti pilot nje Nyankopon hyira no. I don't know if the pilot himself survived, but survive here was a way boni hyire. So one survive here Nyankopon hyira no fa ne crancy man, because a pilot need to crash Committee 1 residential area, and there were so many places in Committee 1 and Committee crash. Side 3 is Kafonu war. Side 2 nkobetimi crash. Committee 1 market nankasa ejom quarters nankasa nkobetimi crash. Just say baby brain we should bless a year fine saying pilot no so saving because only 2 people just say we should 2 people no yanka say okay but just say he has done his utmost best to make sure say casualty no and no so because ko see wo baby a ye krom me say even Committee 1 ko see wo Committee 4 and ko see wo Committee 2 and ko see wo even Meridian Hotel hono e ho nyina ye dwom ankofo ton ayi second hand goods o mu di fi abrochira abane ade o mu nyina ho nyina ye dwom and ka be another disaster. Enti Nyankopon share pastor ne so dream pilot ne so dream say no, let me save people's lives to the best of my ability. Mami try say metimi akọ lande wo park. In fact obo ase de na esi ye ne sa na pilot no so hwe. Enti no crash or forest because the pilot was pushing say and beyond the forest nko benya baby empty land no de esi ho. So enti God bless, but we must start investigating we ni ade ananka wo se ye hwe ho. O si anu ni we na de meba politics atem you. Ye can assess dada danke ye kwa koto helicopters e de ama pilot na ye de ama Ghana na air politics ana ade na ye koto pilot ye nye sika ni na e come de yen na ebia ne say na President Mahama, a whole president of the Republic of Ghana, the first gentleman, ni nia plane and o use why can't the nation buy a proper presidential jet? For that matter, buy proper airplane, proper helicopters for military, for Ghana Air Force. Because Ghana Air Force is doing more, and yet soldier for one helicopter and for more. The first civilians. Oil for so more call keep 3 points I put to oil and one or the form. We need it, but because NDC the way your politics. Because NDC the play yasami politics in theater tromobo. Anti President Mama has to go behind the system to use Ninia a plane. But in Kenya unnecessary politicking, unnecessary politics and Kadiadro and Kasa Ghana and Kasa to play my president. And you'll be and you Brian Mama and Obeto play na my president. Because if you study the concept of gift giving, Obicha Wadia, in effect now so Chenibi. No one that say because Ibrahim Mama no my president play no di too quainty. Watching say Ibrahim Mama ye bibia obi entu binka. Ye onye bibia mom there is a very good person. But I'm saying say so be ye nana nom kra aromun ko school do say obi your papa no ayo boni because obi your papa no oye oboni and oye bibia boni entu binka. They say Ibrahim Mama cross the line no if there's conflict of interest. E be ye den yakoka. We na minua bema Manase Azuria wini koka say senka ye kufuado na tie akonwa so na kufuado nua gabi ana asante bedi eto na koto plane eno se na nado sata mana nkofo si plane no kra nye papa na nado ko ha bia ni etua ka $250,000 aye didi na nado atem kan A+ ne number 1 senka ye gabi na koto plane. This is what I'm quoting Manase Azuria wini. Senka ye gabi na koto plane. And I say asante bedi eto na koto plane no say aminua no mukra mo kana asem dodo on to me ntina plane na eye dademu and therefore me kwakoto plane foforo e de amano enka obeti de ye beka wa ha o se Ghana no ho politics aya ma abroso ya ye politics ma abroso even when asem we Manase Azuri crack kind genuinely no na nkofo odi natem omo IQ yellow no mo di natem. You see, but a legitimate question, and Manase Busano. Aden na nado koye dia wrong. But a year friends will be for koye dia nya wrong. What I say? In fact, President Nankasa Ninia, a Callistus Mohammed, on executive secretary to the president. On one cross the fact Sagana for Busa question said no. A year then I was a president, a Union Koto plane, a mano. A chess a legitimate a friend saying question was a Ghana for Ebusa. I say very legitimate. But once a Manase kind of first one, no low IQ for any dinner them. So politics and yet unnecessary politicking. politics enye unnecessary politicking. E was see etumi hwe kwan a ebetimi aboa na ye nyina ye ba ko na build Ghana man na oman na etumi afa ne ntuma pefra. Not necessarily say bibia ba na ye pese ye kan just so that ye political party ebi akwanti kakra o mapa amount no ebe ye ode. What I say? It shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be so. I was see to me shop kwanya ebe fa so ebe build your mind beyond this generation because osaje fo nkroma na edi na chi no ono echechire Ghana no ono a to me build Ghana beyond now. O to me build Ghana beyond now ebi na ene ye nyina so ya ba be di echire. But ye de ye pese ye political party nko ebi ane na ba na moamo a omukoye women of valor just because ya ma omo sponsorship di o ye ntia se. Ye ntia se o see didi na tem. It didn't attempt. Why? I didn't know what your man Nanaba any ye. As on the onye nipa. As on the onye Ghana ni. You see, it's sad. This is how what we have reduced our politics to. Cheap, populist, didi attempt. Just so obi can't say na ending attempt. This is how we have reduced our politics too. It is a Ekufuado nuya koto plane enye. Ekufuado ko high plane enya. The same thing, no, President Mama to tune in your plane, and yet, young Ghana, man, we owe the president a duty to protect him. Because on some Ghana, man, on some Ibrahim Mahama, or some Ghana, man, on some Ibrahim. And he say, yeah, I was saying, yeah, making sure that the president is safe, ne koneneba. But because of Kujeta Black Wako Parliament, hey, my lord, Nanado o Jari William, Nanado o Yese, Nanado o any ne, it's in Nanado Jari William. Maybe a day I be do no. It's just sad what we are doing to ourselves. It's just sad. Say a Guyam and any Masia, we've reduced Ghana to the point where Ghana no. Acquired just say be politics. Why were we angry in a Kufuado's time? So wako high planer. Yeah, boka say. Then I politics and tunchenkas okay, would they fine. First year the politics. And then the answer say bet me aboa no mind it me akonanim. Yen hwe kwan a ye betimi ama oman na ye yen hwe kwan a esese ye to a plane na ye safe and secured my president o tu kwan anya sa yem hihye na no plane ba ko koja president in Dubai obi kra ho ye kra besre ye koja ni si Dubai whole Dubai na janesi yo sa what I say and so yen oman Ghana ke yen ye classmate kra in some of the countries Burkina Faso kra of a plane Burkina Faso plane. It shows you how unnecessary politicking a blocky adrian babysine. Let me show you what Mini Abama Manasseh etroye. This is what Manasseh wrote. And now Manasseh was a legitimate question. And it is the question Manasseh was asked. See, if Gabi Asaro were a private businessman, it is Ibrahim, and only private jet, and President Kufuor use it for official trips, door to door. Fakahu. And can the way NDC for be here no just say Kufuor Krankofo be a presidential jet to cry. Ghana, ye or minor ye de kasi a better plane and mano so that the president will go and come. America president nama Air Force One on O3. Obi anko raise question about the safety of the president. Sa Burkina ye and they are not raising questions about the safety of their president. But young kwadi the be unnecessary politicking. And no na Manasseh Busano. Say Gabi and anko to plane. But aye obi de ye di. You see, ade enye no enye ade eye so eye eno na Manasseh ka say president ankasa ni nua Callistus kra say no questions na ye Ghana for obusa no legitimate questions. They are questions that are worth a year scrutiny. Questions except for that Ghana for obusa and it's a Ghana for questions say no and then a president nankasa Ghana nankasa I was say a black community ade omo complaining they go back to parliament just apologize some of the presidential jet in here politics. Go back to the drawing board. What you say? Go back to the drawing board. And say, look, president, no, you say, it was here to me. Now, you plane the man. How can we get a plane for the president? How are we supposed to procure the plane? And I was here, cotton. How much are we ready to spend? So these are conversations. I was here to me. These are conversations. I was here to me. Tnasi na yeka. Nanya se bibia na was here and so that be yemfendi atem just to cover up. Just odi atem no we janya nsasema to twene. Because anytime you insult no, na just say adwene no achia no. Anytime you insult. And this is what President Executive Secretary Callistus Mahama, this is what he was saying. Now, somehow, okay, na Minium Manasseh Koti Wahan. Let go see the executive secretary of the president, Dr. Callistus Mohammed, writes that in recent days, a matter that might ordinarily have passed quietly through the machinery of state has become a subject of public conversation. Some Ghanaians have raised concerns about the use of an aircraft belonging to the president's brother for official presidential travel. The most frequently expressed concern is whether such an arrangement could give rise to perception of conflict of interest. President Executive Secretary Ankasa no kan say nkofo bebre busa question say we any conflict of interest ana. Or say it is a fair question tio. President ono na Executive Secretary o nyansa no. Nyansa nyamo a mo de atem ne na mpese mu di no say it is a fair question. In a democratic society, citizens are not only entitled to ask questions. Or see democracy be mo nya questions keke na also citizens busa. They are duty bound to do so. Emrano democracy mrano chechere citizen bi ate esese obusa question. Nti mo se mo a Manasseh kokan ya mudi na tem, shame on you. Mo a obi akokan ya mudi na tem, shame on you. O see emrano democracy mrano ye di echechere obi a we citizen. You are duty bound. Say esese obusa questions. What I say, public life is healthiest where scrutiny is rigorous and where those entrusted with authority remain conscious that trust is both earned and fragile. Dr. Mahama no say, ye can't public life democracy no any ni pe ni mu adwuma ye no adwuma ne papa mu pa bra omanfo na ye di tumi ama omu no hu se tumi no omu kuta no obi na de ama omu na mum esese omu sefta tumi na de ama omu no na tumi no so ye fragile che se kuma bi betumi afurunsa. Or see, in that spirit, the concerns deserve reflection rather than dismissal. Until we need the executive secretary Kwadio Kuma Mudi Manasseh Atem, including Mwamoye MPP for raising that issue. President Executive Secretary or see the concerns deserve reflection rather than dismissal. Also, be a obusa question be a say a brass ye twatwagene rather than say a betuagu. Na ye didn't patronatem. And this is, I think, the fact say. Papa no crack knowledge. You see, this is the difference between banya. Even any way, asemo can azan or can. Sasemo can cry even it doesn't mean it. Kasa dekra with media kasa said no. A brass was a nipana sense and for raising a yansa sem. Yan found quite dream. Yan yabako. What I say? Na yam one or mine konenim. This is what the executive to the president is saying. This is what he's saying. And one would have thought saying can call cancer and no one casa at the above account. Therefore, MPP for time no more year President Kufuor say or TVM no jareno. It was wrong politics, therefore he condemns it. And they want factor. But perhaps that's what he should have added. That if they did politics with the aircraft and the MPP, it shouldn't have been done. And today too, it is not right. Now, Omano SSA, because protecting the president is part of the democratic systems. Protect your president in the air, on the ground, and yet protecting the president in Jubilee House. But even the president is in the air, protecting him is also part of democracy. Because what to president democracy will be tested. Sana yet one of Professor Mills who elections. Into protecting the president is part of your democracy. And on the executive secretary to the president, Callistus Mahama Ekano. Into Yenshia Bibi free mu say democracy enyini ekonenim. And so Okuja to black woman politics or the president a aircraft here and was in bad taste. Now you see a lot of things in baby and may catch them say a diversionary attitude because look, you were last week now Dr. Don Febekache say gold na government akoto Bank of Ghana. Ya wo gold won 38 ounces of gold. First ni any gold kra. And about omiamu buy no mka say no Bank of Ghana yem pe gold mano. Say de ba ahotire mu no. Ye be kwa kofa sa gold ni ne ye de akwa koye ye friend say bibi. What you say? Ena ba omiamu ba no mbeto gold ni bi ka ho. Omo to ya mani kodu 30 ounces of gold. Nti ene oduru Ghana vault mu na gold room. NDC ba na NDC say no MPP for ya de. Nti omo so nto gold ni bi ka ho. Ena NDC the NDC Bank of Ghana for you. Esan to 8 ounces e de kan 30 no na ye 38 ounces of gold. So that's a good thing. Governance they continuous. And the MPP for ya there, there's nothing that says NDC for more but to school feeding. President Kufuor na de buy you. President Mills buy no 12 school feeding no so. Mama buy no funding school feeding no. Health insurance, President Kufuor na de buy. Professor Mills buy no to a year first health insurance or expanding the campaign. Mama, no cost expanding no. Health insurance their biggest investment in a dining a day under President Mama. It's governance controls. Goldie MPP for na start here, NDC by no be can money be 38 tons. Okay, 38 tons rather. Thank you for correction. Sometimes I from 38 tons of gold. And then just because you have this city, any dollar politics into you. Government person stabilize the cities into Bank of Ghana for a ton of gold. No, you know, say I can't 19 tons. Bank of Ghana for a ton of gold. You know, I'm an 19 tons just because some person stabilize the city. No. Na unim besi ne Bank of Ghana for nipa kro mo ton ma omo. Na omo ka se John. Omo san ko bank parliament bi o say gold no ma ton gold 38 ton no. Omo ton ama na ka 19 tons pe no. Ba parliament san omo mutumi no omo san ko to gold ni bi meka ho. Na ye bu so omo say sa 19 the omo ton 38 tons na ma ton ama na be di 19 tons. Mo ton ma hwan. Mo ton at what price? Because you see, I only say, 38 tons. You see, you can't go gold no for biema. You babo ka $1.2 billion net this. And it's a plane na same way, you know, diversionary taxes. Monsieur Omobwa, hey, now say na auditor general call parliament. Or say, oh, na, no call parliament na, and crophobia discada, then this iba away. Auditor general who auditing be also back parliament and go discard. I didn't go for court. Now, what is the auditor general waiting for? Go to court and prosecute them. No, I'm the auditor general about parliament. And confess this kind of story. Go case and go to parliament, go to court, sue them. Oh, I no crime to me soon go for your engines. Come on, Masa begin parliament and go for this car and ghost names, education ghost names. That 1 year near 1.5 years. Just go to court. A diversionary taxes from gold, no, Makotono. Then I will go 38 tons. What got to man 19 tons? O to ma samayo. O to my friends and family. O to my dear. O to my Dubai fo. O to my Kuwait fo. We don't know. No was about parliament here and Tom Mobium. Me was a see as a cassia koto gold na. Your best aboka 1.2 billion into a young man. Now near Jumaye, junior Juma Juan Pacho. These are the questions you should don't allow yourself to be diverted. Don't allow your brain to be diverted. Diversionary taxes. They are costing diversionary taxes. They are costing diversionary taxes. I swear to God. Diversionary taxes. Government per se. Or he are feed the main issue. So, which is that gold no makoton, moton ma wine, moton no saying. Then I fed the kwakoto gold DBMA yes and boka $1.2 billion. And who is going to pay? This is clear financial loss. This is causing financial loss to the state. You're causing financial loss to the state. And somebody ought to pay for it. But said the cost of financial loss has been committed. Yam peso be able to no makochi Freddie Blay in diversionary taxes. Freddie Blay or makochi, Missy diversionary taxes. I go cry watching case I'll never be just take the person to court. Edu in case I'm starting here, baby I could do. Mokochin for gold na na ebi small go ye baby a case na kodu. All the cases that attorney general starting here, OSP starting here in a case na koti saying. Face those cases. Me are the new ones. They are wired that no crop fire omunyina no ye obi no obe defend obi ama say. Oh my bonia somebody no ye defend obi a chi omunyina omo a wachi omo no for omo di asem no. Na uni case intino. Uni case intino. Why didn't say ma? Say what they since professors no more go no yeah press conference about say him fan a gold no. Find your tongue gold no what to say newspaper be carry gold no one say ma shada. O ma divert attention. Oh my trini bra plane and I need diversionary taxes. I'm telling you, diversionary taxes, diversionary taxes. And I can be people for your bedi watem into nobody wants to talk about the main issue no. The main issue, he started Iran, America for war, he started a cancer massa. Near my boy Becosro, they affect here near, though no mood attempt. Because you know, one person will be other can and wants him. And then, yeah, a friend saying, Echo TV3 no one can say ampa. War is starting crude oil cost on the world market. Edu jita maklo. Or see crude oil a cost on the world market. But again, the government in person be able to crude oil bonus and more. On person be able to crude oil bonus and you better so, and then they are to the reality of the fact is that global politics will affect. Yeah, we are coming to see it. That is why COVID-19 can see their politics. That is why Ebola can see their politics.
Crude oil price is doing. I just checked from Energy News, one of very respected news outlets, online news outlets on energy-related issues. And they are projecting that crude is doing about $99. Before the conflict, crude was doing $66. And so that's almost like $20 or $30 or so more that has added onto the situation before the conflict. So quite clearly, these are the things that are happening. But thankfully, the one that significantly impacts on pricing, which is the exchange rate, by reason of the current managers of the economy and what they've been able to do, it had kept the currency a bit more stable for the purposes of planning. And so, if the Ghana cedi today were to be trading at $15, 15 Ghana cedi to $1, the price of petroleum products would have been like 23 Ghana cedi for a liter. But because the current managers of the economy have been able to manage the stability of the Ghana cedi for the past 13 months or more, it has anchored the pressure that this current conflict would have. And that's what makes it a bit more different.
And when I do digital macro can say making it different because you are stabilizing CD, but CD stabilization in the Ghana for Sika. Sika and Quebec media a friends and factory. I'm a boy saying yeah, but because of politics in as you see a force why they stabilize CD, And CD moon so in the next couple of why we are best cost. You see, because there may be one man and this idea politics. And this idea politics at all. And this idea politics. And this idea politics cry be any and all can say Iran near America for war no could have walk through. I say when me cry me on Facebook or di matem sir because I don't want to engage them because me nya home me read them comment and did attempt really because when me boss me say when SHIT hits the fan one kata obehu e drew one na say ebo no global crude oil price no cost na e kan Ghana na kan ya ni fuel ni ade ya tuma we will see it. Let's face the reality ni nyina anya ba ko say on my nation building we are building more. And I remember the famous speech of President Mahama Christmas here ni NDC Ghana any MPP Ghana ni ye nyina Ghana ye ba ko pe Ghana no ye nyina ye Ghana ye ba ko pe nti wan hwe now they could be bia be politics chinchina ye fanya politics ochina no ye na ye ho be kire yen. And you see politicians there, they come and go into the politics or no and fan because of call no obejine yes gracia. What I say obejine yes gracia, they really don't care. Who no never affect you. And that is why it's a politician that we must be bold enough. See a becker to show politicians that all these things are diversionary tactics. Diversionary tactics from crude oil, fuel bekosro, fuel yempo bekosro. America fuel gas was say $3.60. $3.60. But of course, America do no konto kwanti e be affect omo first before e be ye obia. But baby e kan Ghana ne baby Iran for blocking no. Unnecessary politics. Yeah, me see and yeah, bahanum to expose the unnecessary politics and I be the politics, the politics. We will expose it today. The unnecessary politics from plain idea politics. Say Kufuado do Timwa, a Kufuado high plane there, and any safety beam, and the Ojari. na President Mama kofa ni nua dia okay for his safety nti also fa ni nua a plane Ekufuado kwaji honorary doctorate or swa honorary doctorate but President Mama ko Korea ya man honorary doctorate degree and okay see ama President Mama honorary doctorate Ekufuado nua ekoye bibia problem but yeah the mining adwuma Emma Ibrahim there any problem what kind of double standards no Minya bema ono so journalist Nathan Kwao etro bibia I'll go back to it and read Nathan Kwao there and a journalist of I mean these are all everyday voices journalists for mu nyina so kire omo opinions of course they are Ghanaians and it's own to me chira wadwene na say journalists decide to speak that's a friend saying their prerogative what you say also power to me people and I then I want can wait time and I can we say I mean obi ando ka nobody owes you a friend saying speaking no obi ando ka. And it's Manasseh Akananano, and people like Manasseh, they have been vocal. If you choose not to listen to us, now so bet you people from now that's on you. That's on you. And therefore, what I said, that's on you. That's on you. It's entirely your business. Let me go back. Let me hear but in the meantime, President Mama, a few moments later, a few moments later, Nanko for Kana Mode say no. This one, this is the first one that came. I think there's another one, Uncle for a can once and say, no, sir. Or can say President Kufuado the award, honorary doctorate, or they call him, and no do Korea for so, Yabema also honorary doctorate. So, now, and also can I say, because it's just crazy how the idea politics. Let me play you this one before I go back to old one because old one my brother.
Ezu Nwako University bia yema o doctor abra odasu mampenyo anka o de wie na kọ nom ka say ye twa wedwuma o ya ade sei enti ye pese wo ba na ebo abaso na ma honorary doctorate University of Ghana henyina we chimo monsa mo mama no doctor no so minim baby o.
A few moments later.
This honor you have bestowed upon me today is one that I accept on behalf of all the people of Ghana as a symbol of the deep respect and mutual relations and admiration that exists between our two countries.
Well, a few moments later, I go for you know. Well, a few moments later, I am go for you know, baby, a day abedu. Ekufuado kwaje award there, David, oti akonya so inti eni so oje honorary doctorate. But obedient, you see sometimes President Mama, and the boys know. And omu pushing mo keka ne ma say no omu keka omu pushing na ono awia no hu say no we dey atiafa so. Let me play you the video again.
Ezu Nwako University bia yema o doctor abra odasu ye o mampenyo anka o de wie na kọ no ka say ye twa wedwuma o ya ade sei enti ye pese wo ba na ebo abaso na ma honorary doctorate University of Ghana henyina we chimo monsa mo mama no doctor no minim baby o de kọ.
A few moments later.
This honor you have bestowed upon me today is one that I accept on behalf of all the people of Ghana as a symbol of the deep respect and mutual relations and admiration that exists between our two countries.
So, politics in yet. You should not do politics with things. I deal with honorary doctorate, the more be a effort. So especially when they're coming from another institution or another country. So effort. Say why you be I saw mine and yeah, my doctorate. And normally for diplomacy sake, utu kwanya na uko baby ni monyam na nkofo per se omo de show. It's difficult to say menje. It's because okay say on jia. So no, you have disrespected the people. But this is President Mama. Now another one caught pants down. Caught in the act. Another a few moments later. Last me boba kuche another a few moments later. No so beka enko no so enka ho. Train, where the
Na
airborne.
Ukraine Russia omo ko a efa ya Ghana for efa ye ho ben. Yeah, it's your baby. Ukraine Russia war. What's na play mu na o ka say wo call Ukraine na. Wo fi Accra 7,000 kilometers ansa no akodru. Na omo ko omo ntokwa. Den say yesika sem. Na Cote d'Ivoire so nka say Russia Ukraine na omo ko. And so
A few moments later.
Ghana is not immune from the shocks of global events. Recent events in the Middle East, which involve an exchange of missiles between Israel and Iran.
Someone who had another few moments later. Like I'm saying, politics and yet. We shouldn't do politics with it. Russia-Ukraine war, and they are far away from Ghana. But Iran, America, they are close to Ghana. At the end of the day, no mind Ghana, no, we must focus. Say on mind, not necessarily politics. Also, another few moments later, you in the president Kwamba is say a few moments later, in fact, you can't bear for because Galam say the bet me Galam say so a few moments later. Oh, I will pass the LGBT bill, and our parliament are pass a sign. A coup for signing to also sign it. Some judge a few moments later, I bet you some judges so demonstration that we have to or buy LGBT non can once him. And talk on the DSTV can sell LGBT non call the coso as on can once him. So it's sad that we do everything. In fact, Kamala Harris a crab by all the Ghana colors, any American colors to crowd good and yes, yeah, LGBT colors. I mean, unnecessary politics. Yeah, buy a bet you way, yeah, buy a bekum, yeah, bet you coffee way, yeah, bet jelly or munina. How many cases now more jelly? Because it does not lie in your mouth. It does not lie in your mouth. It only lies in court. So we prove you'll be guilty. Court also, so you see the wheels of justice grind slowly. Young court one day. I was say Obia having a day in court. Yes, I was so be no. Into the Nipan Drew court, and don't just say one hour jail. And so you be jail. When Tina Atamos about first, Nana Rollins say, Yen jelly and people Atamos is no more fail and a kind. And no more not you fail and a kind. Sunny what charge him first. Sunny what pay investigation po first. Then what charge then what bad charge me. Okay, Rollins and tie young cocoa keke. Yet about cocoa no ko losing out the war about betnase. Then what about manica wasting government's time. Attending general press conference, baby, case na kosi say. Because press conference as any admissible evidence or court. Any admissible evidence or court. Say a few moments later, Galam say, and also a few moments later. Yeah, they buy a best topic, Galam say. Yeah, they buy a best topic. Oh, a few moments later. What then I know the answer? Hey, buy the Abama Obia bed, did you be a bag? Galam say, ni be peche. And as Sami Jefi Papa and Nasi Omako Kuno. Sami Jefi, I say, me say. Enyam Robert, so we are Galam safe what it was targeted because 9 months of one banner muching of what. In say I don't go for one police station. Yeah, you go ne from them go no way. And no more meaning see a bit you muka. No. It's a few moments later they bet you be a see but said na easy for be announced bedum kania. A few moments later ni be no. We must not do politics with kania. We must not do. In fact, I know they started a friend saying, Mahama time, and so MPP for the doom so your politics. But it started under Kufo time, I doom so be started saying, and then this for the year politics. Oh, Ghana, na yani if you say NDC beko MPP. In fact, Nana do opposition. If you num kania da, me no me and you bedum kania, me cry me will inventor. To me, you dum kania cry me will comfortable lead. Your problem, no, we allow politicians to mislead us. We allow politicians to mislead us and do unnecessary politics with things when that is not supposed to be done. And then a few moments later, I checking no LGBT assembly and kai. Oil the nearby kayin. You say America full bo gas cost boba Ghana and they say almost say about beto kania ni sum. Near me do on my necessary because that starting automatic price adjustment. It is a automatic price adjustment. They are not just a crude oil more cost slightly, no. Yes, you are cost. Although there's a tax component, I don't understand why tax say the two petrols go for their politics. Or maybe any one of my tax component and fuel pricing. More so a third world country like Ghana must say a friend taxes and share fuel pricing. What do you mean? Nini na yedi shem. Or maybe any one of my talk gas, say UK, Ghana, Burkina Faso, Germany, US, fuel nini na tax wom. Na America cry the okoto and from cry a tax wom. To adewa Amazon tax wom, Ghana nko the tax bear politics. Yeah, the tax bear politics. E bi any na go Bank of Ghana for akọ parliament ye mo kwa no mkoto gold. Gold no nya. Gold na mo beto ye na nya. And this if when you be to me at home, and they are show up pumping into the economy, and I must see the nice stable. No gold in Enya and Gaya Kotobia Becaho. I'm a Koboka $1.2 billion you only see this. Ghana near Ntiam Penocre. But Obi Obe attempted to Becano Crabia done on a to my dogs, no one dinner them no yedi. Yen dinner them or more independent voices, baby, or more person Becasa. I just said the team legal wife one idea young cofono. You bet do attempt to be able to be and to me can be. San and this in MPP for your my team legal wife. I be a bit do attempt to that kingdom come. Attend in terms of Omu school. Omuni matem did you corner be I said the but do attempt them didn't come to be like Nipa what is this is very uncouth, very crass, but also a speciality no. Or do what I said about making be. We can't run governance like that. You're running a bank like that. If you need the President Trump, because you're the politics, the grocery bill, and then President Trump buy on can grocery bill as him. Who could have $200 to the Costco crowd? Who could dear coffee koda? Who could have $200? Who the Costco koda? Because I'm toughy. Uto nam, uto jene toast, meko, uto bibika asan, and toshi, seminani, a draw crank to be. This is being a Ghana bay. Say inflation ye cooking only say information just say even statistical service they are in charge of all calculating inflation come up amono because you perceive cooking inflation figures. Now cooking inflation your bottom so bet me cookie. If you cook the inflation figures to Ghana and say oh inflation is what about 4.3 your bottom so bet me cookie any uko joma prices are high. But inflation, it just say, and yama buana is stable by 4 point. It just say, changes no, because inflation is not about whether prices are high or low. It's about the percentage, the rate of increase, But that inflation at 4.3, and it's not reflecting in people's pockets. It's not reflecting in people's pockets. This is the sad situation. We unnecessarily do politics with everything. Unnecessarily, we do politics with everything. Inflation and their politics. And your politics are constructive politics are and maybe I become because sometimes opposition so are doing the count money ye build your mind. Said Dr. Callistus Mahama, President Mahama, Executive Secretary, so be all complaining about president say oh you soon in your plane no and also you doing training in the teacher man no and say ye mediatem into the from Eneko bia for political sake or did you young quarter Manchester IQ no and drew baby a fresh saying a bit me a political discourse because I didn't train the teacher of mine before democracy baby no governance I didn't check into the punish status or the attempt the person has lost the plot. We have lost the plot, and it's not just about president plane. It be a helicopter crash. Helicopters in your dada. Helicopters in your dada. Arena ache. Enti ye was say your parliament. Na ye pesi kan ye kase. We are retooling your air force. Helicopter dada ni na ye to aguni ato foforo. Ye de wo ho na ye dada ni na be training for air force training school. Ye koto foforo. Ye talk from my president and stop the unnecessary politics. About parliament, so MPP four must not do politics with it in parliament. It's now also your 10 year Rafael Market minority leader. Don't you dare about parliament. I mean politics or hot. It is our job to protect our president. And your president in your job. Because the moment a president in your to play a man no. Just okay bonny I to minka. Or cross the line I to minka. conflict of interest by yen to me kan and mana say can and me nya be ma a first Nathan Gaduga no so a journalist and this is what Nathan writes on Facebook. Let me show you what he's writing. And this is what he's writing. Or say it is a state capture. Theo, this is what Nathan or say. It is a state capture for one family, but for another family, there it is indigenous mining push. The double standards and the stinking hypocrisy aches, but there is still no scandal, so it's okay. No. It is a Kufuor time no more a state capture. But a obita near mining there be a indigenous mining sector and you push you. Okay, take Kufuor time by a Japa. There was a whole machinery. Oh no, I was against a Japa, but it was on the basis of principle. Say, yeah, making sure that more free gold mining areas in no more about so. But a lot of people brand Gabi mo person be we are Ghana gold. But now Ibrahim Mama Konya concession or be mining ejuma. And I like it because Ibrahim Yesika Ghana economy name on the wall. But the same way na Gabi Yesika Ghana economy name on the wall. And then Gabi do Ghana ni. And I Gabi do score the Beko bush or the Beko Wiem or the Beko heaven. But Ibrahim Mama do Baba Ghana. This is the necessary politics that Nathan Gadu is talking about. This is the unnecessary politics. You obi the young polishing and young say no the obi ase by a Kufuor do there be or your bonsam. The Kufuor na bushia for the bonsam. Ti adwen papa krawa. Although a Japan Dr. Dufo na dey adwen ne ba yo. Dr. Dufo na dey idea Japan idea ne ba but aye Kufuor do time no implement it there be bonsam. It's sad. It is sad what we are doing in Ghana. Ye destroy a nation, no? And unfortunately, your young people never because we are not teaching them anything better. And I hear how mo, and I hear say mo, and no ne, and no, and ne, and no ne, they be a make us say the who and one. We've gone half of the life. What you say? But more banner. You are the one who are supposed to open your eyes and understand politics. And understand that some politicians are fooling you. You should know that they are fooling you. And call them out. They be an hour so yeah, we make us no one call it politicians. No, Ghana your mind. Ghana ni obi a Ghana be enuni. I was in favor of Ibrahim time and no a year friend saying bauxite, Eston cubic. No, I was in favor of Ibrahim handling it. Because my concept is Yama Ghana is a major player in the mining sector. Into combining bauxite ni be a Ghana for the Benye Juma. Because you say you're comfortable say bro need ome we sikanko. Ome two oil abrofune gold abrofune bauxite abrofune lithium abrofune. But the same thing I did pushes Ibrahim enya ade no. The same thing I was saying to me the boy say another Ghanaian. And so yeah, as long as policy no dey ba na good enye good cry yen nyina betumi dey adwen aka ho ne abo ahia yen tene no ahia yen straighten aha say yenye say we should encourage it instead of ye be label no na say ya ote ya oma release a first for government lands government buy ya o say we release a friend saying ban on selling of state lands no they say the state lands no ye betumi aton. You bet me at Tom State lands. But this is exactly what some time ago. NDC say MPP for Tom State lands. Into your bonnet. What you say? Yeah, Tom State lands. Into your bonnet. But NDC buy idea or see Tom State lands no into a left ban. Said they buy a year friend saying or almost betobi. Oh, the double standards. I don't have any problems here at Tom State land. Because state land no one for a certain purpose. In Kroma JSA, state land no yefanya ade e sefata ebeboa echirema. But say bia obi investor bi aba. Na so say state land no obetimi dey see factories be tenna. Why not? I will see a ton man no see factory no. I de beboa Ghana. But ye the politics sa be see ne. NDC buy one of the things NDC aye say ono so koye lifted man na ye beton state lands. Into obi a wo sika otu betimi ato state land no bra na beto state land ni bi You see, politics in yet. Why did we do politics? Why did Sir John? Yeah, Sir John, who yeah, say, oh, Sir John, akwa koto, then. I say, Obin koto, yinibida. I say, Obin koto bida. Let me show you a state land, Ewa Hanum say. It's just, this is state land. I say, government lifts suspension on sale of state lands with new stringent guidelines. Hello, stringent guidelines be any settings. Stringent guidelines be any settings. Then me my journalist wa han Ghana chew. Ni settings. Stringent guidelines be any one. Ye cotons as no be atobi. But what sending message I would di atem who needs count to me koto webi. By buying penny phone in almost communion better. Oh, NDC ni MPP. When we tell you so omuye the same, it's just a matter of say colors they change. 4 years people will change. And 4 years they keep recycling because under President Kufuor Jacob Chebelamte. It was a whole issue, man. This is the court. This matter went all the way to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court. Supreme Court will release a Lands Commission, yes, statutory body. Statutory body, so under Ghana, or then and to will take a decision. I buy being to me best stop this decision. And I hear politics. President Kufuor free one because one of the things that President Kufuor no money buy or the G, the money no, and all the free ho, and NDC buy. NDC buy no most the same thing. And I as I see, and I am Krumamunsa saying at the GCD, a year what a cantonment almost to the man, third party people. I see a year refurbishing. Tomoto dine and dine a plot no. A diner was near Bogu, normally see condominiums. Oko cantonment abebre, it sprang up around that time. Chase homes near there, a one side nina, adolance nina, that's how all those properties came about. MPP again, MPP so the politics, and this is what Thomas has no. MPP buy and another and a friend said, John, forever. I give it to my niece forever, the because Sir John Sukoto, assassinate bio at Mota Forest. Anything also NDC for the year politics. NDC buys is no so jegum on so beton. Into the politics of selling Ghana, no NDC near MPP no move. It is the politics of yen say yen ton Ghana. No be anje ni chefa. No man for nemre. Na said the be or the bram when so am why didn't I say or boy so ye adwuma. Is that BBO you be military for ni be one. This week, you almost see a fan of Webiagum. Messi is part of the diversionary tactics. This recruitment in a diversionary tactics. So that unya kind of work say a ton state land. So that unya kind of one who say Bank of Ghana for ton you go. No see and some more munko to go nibium. Now you book $1.2 billion. So that you what drink diversionary tactics. Diversionary tactics. The same recruitment, you know. MPP 4 times more recruiters. There be an MPP for recruiting for. We don't have money. Ghana needs car. And then you fan for soldier. And then you fan for police. As omo do omo you togo for. Now when this man back up can say, oh, omo you for more soldier ni police no me Ghana for. Na MPP time they no me you know. MPP time no me Burkina for. MPP time no me Afghanistan for. Unnecessary politics. The same thing. A few moments later ni be no. Musi sikeni wo be ne de ska wo ho. I had the fan for soldier, you had the fan for police, I'm here to Omukana. Say, see, Omuka said, Nkofo failing to me for and this foreign fire president, Mama, where issue statement said, Young foul winning and gum, young for 400,000, young 4 million and kahon, young 4 million police or fires, young 4 million and gum. The politics. You find this for a yes, you find this for because they are Ghanaians. And do you Ghana and in your Dumano, it is good. The same thing you found of the MPP, only Ghanaians. Into it is good. And so make the kind of noise that was made, NAPCO. And then I buy a coffee NAPCO for the SASICA, NAPCO is a waste of money. But these are also Ghanaian children. NAPCO for no Swamunya Muamunya Neomu Nipasa. Oh, say politics in ye. Unnecessary politicking of national issues, national discourse, developmental issues, a Bebuama Ghana fan into my pay fryer, see and yet, yet the Nina bear politics, any and ne. You see a dinina ebe unnecessary politics any ne. And this is the Ghana we have. Mami come test message ni be Clifford Bafu or see if ya the NDC as a party has pungent for being politically diabolical. I have nothing to offer the ordinary Ghanaian. I disagree, mom. I disagree. You can say NDC diabolical, but say they have nothing to offer Ghanaian. I disagree. Parties no be or BB to offer. It's not true say they don't have anything to offer. The KABC, family and friends in Muhammad's administration here, 2 man. Dr. Callistus Mahama, Joyce Bawa Muntari, Randy Abe, any Bafuboni, any Yireni Adi, Omunina, Mahama, and friends, any family, I don't know. Richmond Kuredu or Chelsea, they preach against it in opposition, but now they are doing the same thing. We have made a big mistake bringing back NDC and this just to rewrite their wrongs. But this time, no, it's smelling too bad. Or also, no, no. Edmond, down so good evening, Steph. Edmond, also good evening, and come my way. And after Richmond Kuredu or Chelsea, but we are now the NDC is telling us we can't criticize them in any way. Everything they are doing right now, no, they want us to believe, say, yeah, they are so see, you need so Efra. Clifford Cheba for say the corruption, the occupation of image tarnishing politics is so bad, and it doesn't adhere to the benefit of Ghana. Yeah, Obia ni didn't attempt. Anaba na mo amoko, just omanko we sikampo. Omo best the government of Ghana tell me sponsorship and government more sponsorship. Hey, conforto TV that. This sisters not them blue, black, and say, but I'm happy so more san by so June Chromo Sanko America. And to more Mudi at the Montiati, Monko Hage transformer. Say London no cry, na mo someone Tiati, women of valor, Marco London. Say, almost the gold boss sponsorship, ne Sanko World Cup. Now say, then, Mubesu, you go cry blood. Mubesu, Mubesu, more and this is support that I'm buy a Togo Kramunko, you know, most of Tiati and Anabana more. Omode women of valor, any a gold boss sponsorship called Landy. Say so much America cry. Timuni won't start in Sumoja. You go cry Pepe. James Owusu quite message or say Stevia. I'm sorry you are contradicting yourself. You perfectly explained the concept of inflation. But on the other hand, you are saying prices are high. I'm saying that prices are high because the rate, it's not commensurate, it's not corresponding with the 4.3. That's what I mean. I know just the high price na maker. The rate of the prices, because inflation, the changes the rate. Clifford, I say politicians here unprincipled, then they every and no any every and no and I every no Charles redo there or say that ben who win Charles. It doesn't matter. That ben I mean who here doesn't even matter. Tell you I say now all these mining companies are being allocated to Ibrahim. Imagine Sananado Abang. Any the mining companies, and can Besi Ghana Hanum. John say, look at the global situation. We know what's going on in the global situation before any African country thinks. So we have already thought. Okay, on also need our day banano. John BM okay, John Macau. Okay, Chukusi if ya may show from Kumasi, but use a little bit more English so that we all can understand you. Okay, Chuku, I get you why. Kwesi a champion or Sibim lady, a very true party, a canon. Richmond Credu say if you are comfortable lead, but yeah, me mature a friend saying a snake over 20 years. And I mean, I life, 70. Mature half of crab so. Ain't in your man, I mean, what problem? Mimi would never have lived my life. But mom rantiana munu baby and I'm supporting is a huno. Mona was a modern but the Knusika is a problem. A Juma is a case. And it's only a Jumayana say you still follow politics blindly, sheepishly. And your case. Just after Akose Mahama said Ekufuado a family and friends. And then they say Mahama no say Ekufuado family and friends. No, you. John say if I agree with you. Sami if you ask no muku no dey revenge pan. Me say me inside Philadelphia, I gave that information to the police. Me say mo hwa ade no mu ye nkofo no mo nya am robe so a reprisal attacks. Richmond Credu or those who have who fed them with the falsehood no opposition or more no more deceiving for big time. Or more na da mo de da nkofo na nunie enene ene mana akwa asesano etientu omu nyina afo. Linda appears on fire. Linda, thank you. Why? And a branch back also. Okay, mommy, your message me. Redmond Credu Macau message. John Macau message. Jay Dazzle. I say I think Mahama had his first class from the university. Korea and no mama no honorary doctor. It doesn't matter because President Mahama some of Kati Ekufuado ne say Ekufuado ti akonya so no honorary doctorate. It doesn't change the fact that President Mahama so ti akonya so no honorary doctorate. When on any school na de man or not, it is a U10. Because the common man no ka so ma Christian Akufo-Addo so oti akonya so a PhD honorary PhD nti me so menje. But on himself ka so onje a e be show disrespect to the people. Tell so oje. And there's absolutely nothing wrong sir President Mahama Aje. There's nothing wrong. In fact, Korea for entire Ghana monyam. Enti nisi e dey honorary keke. Honorary keke. Ye nyam fanya politics. Ye fanya politics to the extent that Akufo-Addo wa chinchim nkofo nsana o mama no honorary doctor. Really? The Akufo-Addo no to no the doctorate ni here at his age 80 something say one say 78 you say no the doctorate no here then. So the coffee anya brodo ni cheese no the berry. Anya yi and I know odi ni ire birthday one who gaga ya na Akufo-Addo ye. Wada papa no wada. Munyina munim say nipa no free akonya so a. Gracia, the standard of living is constitutional. You can't change it. And also the Ghana constitution crown for here manua. Wa born bra as an as you see Akufo-Addo before being president, his law firm was one. I don't think that I think his law firm top 5 law firms or we are rich law firms. Akufo-Addo the law firm top 5 law firms are was omudi cases amudi dollars boom omudi cases wa Ghana di cases wa abrochire Akufo-Addo law firm kan. And when you be a co-position come bed no. When you be a co-position come bed no, you are wasting your breath. You are just wasting your breath. So what you say? Richmond Corrado was you could you talk about judge him for the way no politics helicopter any omune and he said helicopter that dainty and no one say nipa me no helicopter that dainty ye nipa me no just like that. They shouldn't have died, but helicopter that dainty and a nipa me no no. So yo yenyo money yo Albert Gani say I don't think the equalization is valid. If Dakun buys his plane before his cousin came to power, there will be no problem. Did you know the plane massa, this is not an issue. Yeah, Dr. Callisto Sukra, executive secretary to the president say valid. Oh, Abeke can they open? She President Nakasa executive secretary class consensus na Ghana for raising here very valid. Very valid. What you say? And then Bibiani idea politics. Romeo answer or say if you okay, Abrante no di attempt now to do nothing, but ignore him. Ni Jabindo do so di attempt another one. We papa who ni pa udi attempt. You are insulting your own IQ. That's it. Me say argument, the debate, the bar. You share your views too. The moment I'll be the attempt, that's a clear depiction of your IQ level. Daniel Amanko say this is NDC people for you. They be near my more minor. Mauk maintain or say until when Ghana, sister, until say Ghana for them near that near back near who's on money diano. Politics say yana bekoso. Collins agree or say more power to you, lady. More power. Kwasisa for a champ or see look at him. They have all put their hopes in the dollar. And I do jitama kano. Say dollar. But in fact, I do jinanka video.
How the situation was in the past. Because remember that there was a time that the Ghana cedi rose to almost 17 Ghana cedis doing. I just checked from Energy News, one of the very respected news outlets, online news outlets on energy-related issues. And they are projecting that crude is doing about $99. Before the conflict, crude was doing $66. And so that's almost like $20 or $30 or so more that has added onto the situation before the conflict. So quite clearly, these are the things that are happening. But thankfully, the one that significantly impacts on pricing, which is the exchange rate, by reason of the current managers of the economy and what they've been able to do, it had kept the currency a bit more stable for the purposes of planning. And so, if the Ghana cedi today were to be trading at $15 Ghana cedi to $1, the price of petroleum products would have been like 23 Ghana cedis for a liter. But because the current managers of the economy have been able to manage the stability of the Ghana city for the past 13 months or more, it has anchored the pressure that this current conflict would have. And that's what makes it a bit more different.
Yo, ti edu jitama kro no chire mu no. O se ade na affect ye, but ye tumi aton ye gold 38 tons. Amana ba be kan 19 tons, all because we want to stabilize the city. Abraham kasa sike nkene aye recruiting crofo into the army ni police nke betumi dey to salaries. And the one na maami ewo na also wada, it's on to you. The necessary politics, but onon kasa admitted say ampa Iran conflict na affecting him because already crude oil born na kosro. What obian you say born, you see, because obi obetina baby so we say na crude oil born kosro no obesre no. Osre ne say because crude oil born kosro na to petrol na bibia born kosro na ewiase global crisis hit ya. Ye ni MPP jom ni ni NDC jom. Everybody will go to that same market. Ye nyina ye bebre. So there's nothing NDC MPP about the friend saying Iran war no any the effect on crude oil prices. Affect you but what we are saying is say Russia, Ukraine, what their politics is and next we run about who are any affected. And NDC is trying so hard to justify it by saying, oh, you're stabilizing city in India. I didn't want to affect it. America normally idea economy near big, because starting affecting. I'm a near bo kosro gas bo kosro and you are sitting there so who know who now say so affecting. Yeah, they are stabilizing city no crude near the city na koto crude no yeah the city and ekoto. Seriously, this is just DNS economics. This is just DNS economics. But here we are unnecessary politics into yeni ahoto unnecessary politics yeni ahoto. It's up to us. Say, do one say, yeah, two petrol boom. We go talk through. Don't worry. We give your own gin, support you, whether you believe the EFS saying Iran conflict and affecting Ghana, whether you believe Iran for blocking state of Hormuz or won't block you. What it doesn't matter what you believe. As started say you go talk through. Oh, confront now, you go talk through. Politics should not just be about power. Say the Ghana news necker. Politics should not just be about say power. It should be about building systems, structures. Building systems and structures. We shouldn't just do unnecessary politicking with politics. What you say? Daniel Kate say if you trust you need your own kind because issue. Also, Marco say, why should we believe what private belongs to Ibrahim Mahama and not okay? I say I didn't think I was here believe say play no crown Ibrahim Mahama, they are not President Mahama. Well, that's what they've disclosed. Ibrahim Mahama, Mijiri say nyane dia enka ene dia hopefully say be President Mahama dia no ashe da kase. No, I think that Ibrahim Mahama dia because Ibrahim throughout life Ibrahim always catching President Mahama. On our building the life chain brand always catch President Mahama decided to do politics. Ibrahim decided to do business. And it's kadie that Ibrahim always catching President Mahama. And on a private jet, so he can afford it. That the President Mahama only private jet. No only says cannot be kwakoto. What you say? And the youth, no, send a Ghana news can be a fan arguing for Ghana, no honey or modache, not just unnecessary politics. Clifford, they say the NDC painted another as those so in the bonnet because of power. And Nana Dunyankopon and or you almost on to mano. Or Hineba, Nana Boadu, or since the fear, Adeni is serious, but the Edru no, Ghana no. Ghana, baby, a dear bedroom no. Linky, or say this MPP NDC people no don't have anything better for Ghana. That's a Ghana for our citizens now come home so that they stop the lies. No man shena politicians they have been dia grass and ebeye besine. Sa and ebeye besine. Mamu they say all they stole. Or see they all stole Ghana money. And Nina my brainwashing agility. We can't even see say Ghana ska and omode de omoye no. J Dazo says if to be sincere, the dollar should be around 14 to 15 cedis. That's what Bank of Ghana is doing purely. No, the Bank of Ghana is artificial. If your mother is dead, now say wada. It's up to all of us. And the Bank of Ghana kwa say Ghana sika gold kwa 19 a year friends saying tons. I know my ton no more the gold. Say gold no your cut off from beshe my beboka 1.2 billion. Think about that. Oda man no so that that a koto gold ni for the abeship 38 tons na a good bank of Ghana na maton na just to stabilize a cedi na ye beboka $1.2 billion. Think about that. And don't let anybody divert your attention. Play near same night diversionary tactics. Don't let anybody divert your attention. What I say, don't let anybody divert your attention. Ghana na yen Ghana ni see. Said about doesn't matter NDC or MPP or mine be. That is how I mine no more money to say US, UK, no more building or mine. Or my building system so much say it doesn't matter whether Trump and it all. And it doesn't matter whether Biden it was system ne be juma. Into flew up the system will kick in. You can only do much. Intina Donald Trump ya na wabani obia obewo America biano unyo automatic bi and the court because the system will whip you into line. Omo system they will crack the whip. What you say? And the system will whip you into line. It's mama FNC and then course but next Wednesday ye ba ye be bie mu obia kasa na obia so akere na dwen. We jasu jumedi but don't let politicians fool you. And then some ya can nyina a politician omo kwan or no obedada politician e bia na ka ayekoton ye na de government lands ni nyina MPP for one year to ma suspend they say they see engum obia akoto bi and you was kana so obenya sika bia beto government lands bia start yesusu na so beto bi because obia akoto Elizabeth sister Lizzie mpacho Wednesday why Wednesday ya meaning say na unya nka be fire ne style bia bi ba nyankopon ya adoma Wednesday na ya fire ko government lands ne say they aba no mo say yankoto ni nyina bi nti obi akoto it's sad se Ghana pa chese Ghana politics nti o de yem fancy anum say na nyankopon ya adoma Wednesday but still yem fa ya consem ma ye nuanom a omuko wu ye e wo tema no wo helicopter crash nim no but I'm saying say God bless the pilot because pilot na yes emergency attempt no so be land wo cap school park ya and kanipo obekum nkotema de adan ko a even crash oye na gini poso o ko system industrial area to ho tema refinery any balco any ferrofabric kanipo be wu no nka by now we are talking about Black Monday and thousands of people will die and to God bless the pilot but nipa mienu no mo free muso nyakopon for mo kransie yi na ye bomb pie say we dey bin to Ghana da na nyakopon enhwe so say dey ba next time bia no obe protect ye na abusuafo nyina na pilot nyakopon sha no say minim say pilot free mo I couldn't get those details no but say pilot free mo we must honor him dead or alive na abusuafo honor because the why and we save thousands of people who could have possibly died. He saved us a panty nyakopon sha no nyakopon sha pilot nti nyakopon ya adoma ye besan ba betoa assembly so Wednesday nti jaso you medie thank you so much enumere wo hwe ye emaye na wo boy me ye di ni nyina ebremu so ye from Vim lady me producer so Mr. Johansson DOP e di bedi akonso ho ene omo Kenya DJ All Black ne ansa thank you so much nyakopon ya adoma Wednesday another fire and I ye dey ebremu good night.